Hey everybody, Jake Reichbart here. Today I'm going to share with you a lengthy lesson excerpt. So have your guitars ready and we're going to have some fun together arranging a song. Perhaps you've seen some of my many hundreds of solo guitar arrangements I have here on YouTube, and the inspiration for these arrangements is right here behind me, as you can see. I grew up with these vinyls, and I draw pretty much from any kind of style imaginable from the pop music of the past 100 years, everything from Glenn Miller to Van Halen, Alan Holdsworth to Motown, and pretty much anything in between. Beatles, I have perhaps 25 Beatles song arrangements, 20 Steely Dan song arrangements, same for Stevie Wonder, rock, hard rock, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, and of course tons and tons of classic jazz standards from the 40s and 50s, bebop, dance tunes, movie themes. And if you want to learn how to arrange any of these songs for solo guitar, I can teach you. Just like the excerpt that you're about to watch, which comes from a lesson that runs about 90 minutes, I have nearly 200 additional titles, and they are mostly song specific. I enjoy teaching through specific songs because I can show you hands-on how I approach arranging a song. What's nice about these lessons is that I don't just tell you, do this and you're done, but rather I'll take you through 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to play the same passage. I'll work with you on dynamics, on articulation, and 100 other things that you cannot just put to paper. As I mentioned, these lessons run approximately 90 minutes. The introduction, which runs usually 15 minutes, focuses on the right hand in rhythm, and in this introduction I go through my 3 pillars of rhythmic arranging, the first principle being melody and bass only, the second being rhythmic arpeggiation, and the third, of course, the down stroke that I play with my right hand fingernails to produce that backbeat that everybody asks me about. Nevertheless, I do have 2 main method lessons. The first one, how to arrange any song for solo guitar, running 2 hours, and also an introduction to fingerstyle guitar and solo guitar arranging, running 2 hours and 40 minutes. The information about these lessons, the cost, my full lesson list, as well as a link to the full performance of the song that we're working on today is below in the information. So expand the information, take a look, and let's get started. Starting, of course, with the introduction. We are playing this kind of an asus chord in the open position. An open A, E, another A, and D. So it's a 4-note voicing. And this is the place where, as I mentioned in the introduction, you have to do a little bit of that right hand bouncing. And in this case, I play the bass note once and follow with the chords. I don't want to necessarily play the entire chord, although I could. Again, my arrangements are completely open to interpretation, and they change. I may not play, if I have to play the same song several nights in a row, every night it's going to be a little bit different in some detail. So they're definitely not completely locked into one particular thing. And free, as always, I encourage you, always bring your own feel, your own sensibility to the arrangement and create your own, or create your own variation on it. Anyway, back to this. And the movement that follows is all kind of within this area. And I'm trying to create this melody inside the chord. So those are the first 2 segments. First segment is this, and that would be E, F sharp, G, that I play on the 4th string while holding down the chord. So these notes stay the same. Have to kind of make sure to rotate your left hand properly to get the right tone. And the second part, well, the first part was this. So again, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, F sharp. So those 2 segments occurred while truly not changing anything with the other fingers. However, the next segment includes a D note, and I have no choice but to release that first finger to the D and back, and then so D, E, pluck out the A, then again release, play the D and open G, and finally rotate my fingers, play the C on the 5th string 3rd fret and an open D again. From the top with the rhythm. And during this time, with my thumb, every once in a while, I'll squeeze in another bass note just to kind of help that rhythm going. So I'll do this again. One more time from the top. When I get to this spot, I have some open strings ringing and creating an odd voicing, which has nothing to do with the music that we're playing. It's just an incidental, if you want to call it an artifact. So if you end up for a split second playing this sound, it's not musically intended. It's just an artifact, something that was left over, obviously, from doing something else. It goes by quickly, and we try to play it as cleanly as we can. But again, like I said, an artifact may remain. That is not the intention, though, in case you were wondering. Moving on now to the next section, which is kind of the famous chord progression. And what we have here is 3 chords that are just parallel, exactly in every way. And the first one is, you can view them as an E major 7, except that I do not play a 3. I replace it with a 9, which makes the fingerings even a little bit easier, because all it is playing, let's start with the E, a B triad with the first finger on frets 4, 3, 2, 4th fret, but with E in the bass. So at that exact spot, you can also include the bottom E if you have the presence of mind. I not always think about it, and I just play this. Let's assume for a second that we're not going to involve the bottom E. Let's just keep it with the middle 4 strings. So we have E, F sharp, B, and D sharp. Move it down a step now to play the same kind of chord but in D. I guess it would be a major 9. So now it's D in an A triad, E, A, and C sharp. And further down to C. And I just continue to keep the fingering the same, so inadvertently I'm playing a pinky here. C, and this G triad, so C, D, G, and B. So Now I'll put together the entire introduction with this additional section.